It's close to the end of the day, and I made a commitment, and so I'm going to follow through on this commitment. It started back when I heard about Boat Day from Mike Westner. I tend to overthink things. I tend to plan. I tend to have a calendar, a schedule, a routine. And like most people, I don't like to be thrown off of my routine and, have things come at me that are unexpected. But one of my favorite writers or books is by Ernie Johnson. He's a broadcaster on TNT, TBS, and he does the NBA. He wrote a book several years ago called Unscripted, where he talked about his whole life on camera is scripted, and his life with his family, his life with himself is unscripted. That life is unpredictable. There's one thing he says that if life has taught him, it's not to fear the unscripted, but to embrace it. And so I'm trying to do that. And Mike Westner has created this Boat Day. Boat Day was created several years ago when Mike was in the middle of a life transition. He was in a career transition, and he and his wife were at a point where they needed to make a decision. And as Mike tells the story of him going into a small church in eastern North Carolina and sitting there, and he realized this message is just for me, right? It's the preacher who was telling about how Jesus was walking on water. But the point was what Peter did. Peter had to take that first step out of the boat, and in order to start things, in order to get things going, Peter had to become uncomfortable. So as a result, Mike took that step and now runs a thriving business all across the country, has a wonderful team, and has made impact on colleges and universities. And it's really been interesting for me to watch how Mike has stepped out, and he's inspired me. Boat Day was created to be a day where you set aside the fear. You do something scary, face your fear, do something new, start something. Whatever you do, step out of that comfort zone, step out of the script in your life and watch what happens. So that brings me to this video, because I overthink. I don't want to be on camera, and yet I tell my clients, I coach them to be on camera, to share their heart, to share their message, and I get stuck in imposter syndrome because I get in my own way. And so Mike and the team at Enrollment Fuel have inspired me through this, and I'm not going to let this day go by without starting, without getting my message, my heart on video, a new medium. I love LinkedIn, not the biggest fan of Facebook, not the biggest fan of Twitter, but I know that video is another way to show, to tell stories, and I'm here. And so maybe this is my first video, maybe this is my last video, maybe I'll never shoot another video at all, but because it's Boat Day, I'm going to launch, and we'll see what happens. So I hope you'll join me on this journey, and I don't know how regular I'll be, but I made a commitment to myself, and that was that I wasn't going to let fear prevent me from stepping out of the boat, of my boat. So what is your boat? What is that thing that's holding you back? What's the thing that is, keeping you safe? Is it something that you know you need to be doing, but there's fear? There's the voice on this shoulder saying, don't do it. There's doubt. Whatever it is, stop, do it, and don't look back. That's advice. We'll see if I take it. Thanks for joining me for these few minutes. Blessings, and we'll see you soon.